Welcome back, everybody. Just got done with a 15-hour drive. Got a mule deer hunt on the way, hopefully. Also, it's a dual purpose tag, so I can also shoot a whitetail buck if I find one. But just out here at camp, got it all set up for the day. Now I'm gonna go cruise around and try and find some mule deer tonight, and then I got tomorrow morning yet, and the season starts tomorrow in the afternoon. Here's camp. Everything else is inside. I did manage to bring a freezer this time. The last time I was out here and I shot a mule deer, I didn't have a freezer. So we had some issues with the velvet and trying to keep the hide good, but we got it to the taxidermist on time. So hopefully we can avoid that, but super excited to be back. Let's get out there. Well, I drove around all last night, and this morning spotted about 5 or 6 bucks. I got 3 of them on this public here. Been driving around all morning trying to figure out how to access them better. They got the wind advantage, but there's a pretty nice mule deer up there. He's in the perfect spot, and he's super skittish. Every time a truck goes by, he gets up out of his bed and takes a look around. So season just opened. I'm going to try and at least get some more footage of him and reassess the situation, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a play on him today or not, but we're going to find out. So right around the corner from finding a buck I call Sketch, I locate these 2 bucks. Blondie, the one in the front, and the Crow, the one in the back. These 3 deer are my target bucks for the week. Alright guys, I think I'm with 80 yards of the skittish mule deer buck from this morning. I believe he's right there somewhere, bedded on the other side. That's where I last seen him. I'm gonna try and get him. So now that I realize Sketch is gone, I want to try and move to the right and check just around the other corner where he was bedded earlier in the day and see if he's sitting in there. As I walked back defeated, I realized I still can go and hunt Blondie and the crow. So, make my way back and off to the next 2 bucks.
Well, I don't know what happened. Since I put the stalk on, he's not there. So whether he got my wind, or when I stepped on that goddamn cactus and had to get it out of my foot first, if he took off, I don't know. Maybe it's on the footage. But he's definitely not where I left him. So we're going to move on to the other two.
So I decided to push the limits of the wind and check where Blondie and the crow are laying. And I'm glad I did because I noticed this third buck, this smaller one. But ended up being my ultimate flaw. So I ended up finding those bucks again. They're about 100 yards over the property line. I don't know how they got past me and not seeing them get to that point, but just glassed them from the truck, as you can see in the video coming up. There's 3 of the 4 there. I don't know where the 4th one went, but man, that sun is just glaring off of those antlers.
So I've been trying to find these mule deer bucks all day. It's 5:30 in the afternoon now. I finally found the one I was calling Blondie after yesterday because his velvet is the blondest of them all. I think he's a 5x5 or a 5x4. I'm just up on a high spot right now. I've been glassing this area all day, on and off. I was driving up with my truck and he came over the backside of a hill, crested it, there he was. But I had to hide the truck. See, seen it. By the time I got all my gear, he's down the hill now, but there's no way to get to him. He's got the wind advantage out there. So we're gonna see if he beds down.
So of all the bucks, I think Blondie, he's the framiest that I've seen all week, probably the highest scoring. But what really trips my trigger is that crow buck. But as you watch this video of Blondie, he is pretty impressive.
So the buck bedded down, but he has every advantage possible. So I have a water hazard between me and him. I can't stalk him where he is. I'd rather wait till him to move yet tonight or try again tomorrow when I can maybe get him bedded in the morning or something, but this piece is too small to blow it up. That's all I got. I can't find a mule deer buck on any other public land. I've tried, and we're talking thousands and thousands of acres. And there's 2 really nice ones here. So I'm just gonna keep trying.
So So I left that buck last night. He was still bedded when I left. It was getting dark, so I wanted to scan the rest of the neighborhood. But anyways, back out here this morning, and I found all the bucks. They're about a mile away from where they were the last couple of days. They're bedded down. I'm stoked because I went out there on I was going to walk a coulee really quick and only wore my rain jacket, so everything got soaked because those bucks popped up out of nowhere's way out there, and I sat in the rain. Still raining, so I came back, drained my socks, took my pants off, all my rain gear's on. I'm on rain boots. I'm gonna head out there, see if I can't get closer to them. Problem is, I looked at the map. They may or may not be on private land, so it's getting a little frustrating because they hang out on a little piece of public, go onto the private, and there's this giant chunk of public that they just happen to be on the other side of the line on a giant piece of private, potentially. But I won't know until I get there. Got quite the journey. I'm sure there's a faster way to get there, but I don't know the lay of the land. So let's go. So just walking this river bottom. Those deer are up there. So I gotta go past this coulee and go up in that coulee and try and get eyes on them. There's a tree right there with another coulee. I should be able to look at them and see where they're at. So I just came into this coulee. There was a little spike right there, so he blew out. Hopefully he doesn't blow the rest of the deer out. But I guess we'll see. It's the hazards you gotta take when you're flying blind.
So I got all the way back here where I seen those deer this morning. I been army crawling for hours on top of this butte to try and look into this coulee and see if they were down in here. But they're not. But since I've been army crawling, I've seen 5 other bucks. That little spike that I jumped, he's with 2 other bucks I've never seen before. And then that real skittish buck that I've seen the last couple of days, he's with a smaller spike way out there, but they're all on private. And then the other 4, I think they're in here somewhere, but I can only go so far because of the private. I'm pretty sure that they're in a coulee just off the public, but all we can do is wait.
So I had to be inches from the bucks I was looking for. We don't know that until later in the day. So this is what I watched for 5 hours. So after 5 hours of looking for those bucks, decided to go back to the truck. The trend with that group of 4 is to lay down all day and stay laid down in one spot. So after in that coulee, I don't think they're coming out till later. But all 5 of the other bucks, man, they've been up, down, covering this whole hillside, walking around all day. But I kind of wish that the shooter bucks would be doing that, but I guess. So after all that messing around, finally, we find the crow with about 2 hours of hunting light left. But all my other shooter bucks are not with him, but that's okay, because we found the crow. So I think I just found the crow. I call him that because his G2 has got like a crowfoot on there. He's with 2 other bucks. If it's Blondie, he's a mile away from where we were, so I don't think it's Blondie, but pretty sure it's the crow. I got an hour and a half to try and make a play on him before close. Let's do it. So I put the stock on those 3 bucks. It definitely was the crow. I got within probably 100 yards of them. They had unbedded and were coming over the hill towards me the way I was trying to stalk with the wind in my face. And all 3 of us met in a stare down at 94 yards. They took off, went down in the coulee. I lost him. I've never seen him jump the fence. I've never seen him run the coulee to the west. Never seen him run it to the east. I walked the whole coulee out. I have no idea where they went. They're like magicians. Poof, gone. So I got this happening right now. I got a bull between me and the truck.
So while I'm hiding from the herd bull, all three of these bucks pop back up to the north of me, which is awesome. And they're going back where I've hunted them before.
So it's day 4 out here. I did not find those bigger bucks again at all yesterday. Wherever they were hanging tight, but I just found Blondie. He's back 2 miles from where he was yesterday, back to where I first found him. He's sitting kind of underneath a rock ledge. There's a doe up there as well. The other side I can't see. Last time there was a buck in there, but I think I got the wind advantage on this one. I'm just gonna try and set up on top and wait for him to get up at the end of the night and walk out and hopefully shoot him. So I got everything in the truck prepped. I'm gonna pull up, hide the truck behind a hill, take off up in there and get set up.
After getting all the way out there, I realized that I have an optimal wind. I know the sun's going to come around the corner and this buck potentially is going to rebed. So I decided to go on a full on stalk.
So I got all the way out here, and that buck, he repositioned himself. I don't know if he's still in this same general area or not. I can't get around the glass without giving up the wind. This is where a second guy on a different hillside with hand signals would be awesome. But I'm just gonna camp out till almost dark and see if he stands up and walks down the hill.
This is why I don't walk in this evergreen shit. Got damn rattlesnakes. Alright guys, so evening of day 5, I finally found Blondie and the crow. They're looking all day. They're in Blondie's favorite spot. I'm hustling, trying to make a play on these things. I got a wind that's in my favor, but I don't know. We'll see.
So here's another good instance where a second guy would have came in handy as a spotter. I got all the way out there. I thought I was within 25 yards of the crow, hiding in the bushes, only to see him stand up on the complete other side of the coulee on me, and away to go. As you can see here, after about an hour and a half of some weird events and finally being able to catch back up with these bucks, now I gotta get a stalk on. So the first task is I'm about 70 yards out, and I have this red clay road to cross, which is extremely painful to army crawl across, but that's what we did. The goal is to get within 50 yards of these deer, but about the time I reach 60 to 55 yards away, the wind starts to swirl, and unfortunately things start to go wrong real fast.
Oh boy. Well, I blew that up, didn't I? So, I was like 400 yards out from those things, and I walked straight at them in the wide open, and they let me do it. Crawled across the road, set up the other camera first, and I think I'm standing kind of where they were laying right now. Range found it back to where when they got up and seen me, it was about 53 yards. All of them were full frontal. The two smaller ones eventually turned. Obviously the bigger one takes off right away. We're on the other side of the street now. Oh, it's been an eventful evening. So after all day, I seen one buck on a different property. I haven't found any of the bucks that are normally on here until what, 6:30 tonight. Finally found this buck. Had like 2 or 3 shot opportunities on him, but I was trying to figure out which buck he was. And he was about 60. I had a hard time ranging him through the grass, but decided if I couldn't get closer, I wasn't going to take the shot on him. It just wasn't there, or in my comfort level anyways.
whole trip. So in the final hours of this trip, I find these two smaller mule deer bucks pop up over the hill just to mess with them a little bit. But that ended the trip. I appreciate you guys watching and coming along for the ride.